I'm sorry. Well, remember, it's the liver and kidneys. We have a that basically excrete cleansing our filters. So everything can come back to normal. Well, if you're a Christian, God restores. God can restore where it never happened again. Our liver is excretory. Our kidney and everything. So it may not go back, but you can get you can get Invisalign, the caps and all that kind of stuff to cover them. I would never suggest pulling all your teeth out because that's what they love to do. I had another friend, fellow Target individual lady, and she went in for her teeth, and they suggested to pull them all out. And so that means there's nothing there, and you have to wear false teeth. So that they're laughing at that too. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that because they're beautiful too. But even if you had your all rotten teeth from this mess, you still have a base that they can add the covering, the veneers over those. So many people have veneers, beautiful white teeth covering, with still having their own foundation. So never, if you don't have to, have them pull all your teeth out of your mouth. So that's the new thing that they've been doing too, offering to pull give you a new set of teeth, but pulling everything out of your head, and that's not what you want if you can help it. So what we wanted to showcase was the burns on the dark skin as well. We see a lot of the burns on the lighter skin, but we wanted to showcase that the burns are here as well. Like, I didn't showcase my burns because I just didn't. I thought I'd showcase my nails. I don't know where Dr. Millicent is. The pictures that I had showcased her burns, so, but I will, once I'm able to redo it again, I'm going to post it for everybody to see, and, I'll put it up, but I just didn't do it then because I couldn't see. So, any questions? And this is just basically Q&A questions today. I am so glad that you guys showed up. It's I'm trying not to bust out crying because of just it's just a lot some days, but it's just so good to be able to have a TI family, even if it's one or two.
I agree.
You can call.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother had surgery on her throat, and then she lost her voice, and the voice doctor said she may never get it back. And when you lose one of those like five senses, like, it does freak you out. Like, I was not able to communicate for her very well because the targeting was so bad. So she lost her voice, and she was the one speaking for me. So we were both just kind of just like, I hope this don't stay this way.
Yeah,
it is bad.
Mm-hmm.
But her voice did end up healing all the way up, and
yeah.
So, and the targeting is definitely not the same. So things will get better through Christ. Everything can change. So everything should grow back and do everything fine. We just got to keep praying and encouraging each other.
Yes, and that's even today. I was going to cancel, and I was just like, no, I need to hear from them. I need to be in the presence of people who are my family, my TI family. I need to be the person, because someone is going to give you some. Whenever we're together, someone's going to give a good word. Someone's going to give you something that you're lacking, and that's what this is all about, huh? Isn't that? So. Ooh, yeah. So I was just like, man, I'm going to cancel this show, and I just can't wait to the prayer. But that's what this is all about, spiritual warfare, and fighting us for this prayer night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad you can. Yeah, this morning they keep trying to make my brain say I don't want to go to places. Just like a while ago, they tried to make me think I wasn't wanted to come to this. And it's just like, y'all ain't going to win this battle, man. I'm showing up.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it was war, huh? So when I was talking to Jessica, she said that her eyes were attacked. When I was talking to no, Dr. Millicent. She said her eyes were attacked. So has anybody else's eyes been attacked, like last night or this week?
Yes.
Yeah, they done mine like make it where mine burn and like or
Burn.
water, just like pour
Yes.
water out of
Mm-hmm.
them. Yeah, you can't see anything.
They make us
constant
blurry
for me.
vision.
I've had blurry vision all of the year. If I don't wear these Coke bottles, I can't see a thing. I can't read letters of any size now, and it's been all year for me.
Whew. So that long?
Yes.
You said,
But the more I have in my body, the worse it gets. This week's been really bad for me. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's been really bad for the last few weeks, but the whole year for me has been blurry vision, amongst other things. But the blurry vision is very aggravating. It scared me in the beginning. When the readers don't help, I really get scared. But these readers are 3.25, and I can read right now. I can see everything on my screen, but normally I have a hard time. I can hardly reply to a text without readers on.
Oh yeah, I had my husband's readers, but they were just like everything just went boop. So what did you say? 3.5? What's the number?
I think it's the strongest they make.
Okay. Well, I just don't hope I have to need readers. I want this to go away.
Listen, these readers help you to spot the drones up in the sky, too. I can see the LED lights, they scatter when I look up with the readers on outside at night. As long as you got a clear view, you can kind of get an idea of what's going on up there above you with readers on.
Oh, okay. Because I know my neighbors, this whole, right now, it's just, I think we need to move. They said that it's a good thing to be moved. And I know it's going to happen again, but the next place you can kind of strategically, I don't know, is there help in moving? Anybody moved and it was better?
Yes, for a little while, it does get better for me. I've moved 8 times in the last 5 years, and it does get better for me. I'm almost there where I'm at right now. I'm really struggling with the house is on, and I can't get away from it.
Okay. So moving to the country. I'm wondering.
I am in the country.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So they have. That's why I have to do the drones. Wow. Sorry.
Well, I just said, called Tuesday night. There's a lady in a town called Stockton, Georgia, which was pretty close to me. And of course, I'm kind of pinning some of this through right now. I'm working with Siri, but she and I have the exact same scenario. She said,
Going in and out. Your connection is real bad. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. We all know this. Let me see if she's gonna come on.
I sent Millicent a message.
So anyone else have?
I think she thinks it's at 1, but I told her it was at 12. So.
12 Central.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 1 Eastern. Is she on the East Coast?
No, she's Central. So.
Yeah, it's 12. Well, we'll still will.
Did you guys?
Anybody have any questions?
They have a burn in your ears. Inside of the ears, they burn you. Besides the pressure and the pain, the sharp pain, they burn inside of your ears.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I I guess you know that story, huh? Yes, I and who's calling? What's your,
This is Rosa from
can
Bakersfield,
you announce
California.
yourself?
Yes, this is Rosa. Nice meeting
Hi,
you
hi.
all. I'm from Bakersfield, California.
Bakersfield,
Oh,
California. Okay, hi. Yes,
hi.
I've had I poured peroxide down my ear, for a couple of months because of the itching that was happening so bad that I couldn't, to the part where it was itching my throat. And so I started putting peroxide. I went to the doctor, the ENT, and he stood up and he stepped backward and he shook his head and walked away and never came back. And so I left. When I went to California, I was traveling. My ears hurt so bad. It was just the left ear hurt so bad I couldn't stand up. They put me in first class because I was in so much pain. My ticket was for the regular class, but they put me in first class, not knowing I was being prompt for all of this program. So they put me in first class, and the man that was beside me, I think was now FBI. But so I went to a doctor in California, in Los Angeles. Just happened to go because I needed to. This doctor, he used a turkey baster, and he was hitting it, poof, 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 trying to flushing my ear out, and it was like the nurse grabbed him and like, "You're gonna burst her eardrum." And when I looked up at him, he had that look of hate. I don't know if you guys probably see him before. Some of them show it. Like he was trying to burst my eardrum. Like he was in a trance, and she grabbed him and she cleaned up everything, and then I left. So I never got any help. So I'm a nurse myself, so I start treating my ear because I'm just thinking there's something in it. And I was using peroxide, pure peroxide, and I let it bubble all up to the bubble where it comes run down my neck. After that, about 3 months, I started getting pieces of, I thought it was wax, dried up wax that was coming out of my ear. And I was so embarrassed and grossed out because I was like, dang, my ears are this dirty? Ew. I mean, it's big chunks, and it was hard. Start looking at it, and it was metal. It was rust. And I forgot to tell you that I used to hear all this. I mean, just it
The
popped
bouncing
on.
sound. What is
I remember the
that?
year it popped on. Yes, but it was a
Yes.
And then once I started doing that 3 step one day, I started getting the crust that was coming out of my ears from a peroxide. And a big chunk of it came out. And I'm looking at it, and it was metal rust. I still thought it was wax, but the humming went away. The big piece fell out, the humming stopped. Yes. So thank you. Whoever you are, you heard my story. I guess we're connected somewhere else, but yes, that peroxide stopped the ear. Now that I know that we have the implant, in our ear, and so the wires that was touching the lining, because we have the lining of our ear is cilia. It's little hairs that connect and catch any foreign bodies that come in the lining to protect the eardrum. So the cilia is trying to get rid of this foreign body that's in my ear. The tentacles or the wiring was touching the cilia of my hair, so it was a constant war of trying to fight that. And so that's what that itch was so bad that I was scratching it and trying to get it out where my ears were bleeding. So I don't know if you guys have have that problem with your ears or the hum noise, but it stopped.
That is wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hello. Welcome, Dr. Millicent Black. Hello.
Bad interference with the phone. Can't hear anything.
Yes. Uh-oh. It's me again. Hi. Dr. Millicent Black. You here?
We can hear you, Sandy, but I think Dr. Millicent is on mute.
Okay. Okay. So if anyone have any questions or anything they want to add to today, spiritual warfare day. I can tell you that every day is, but I can see it today.
Okay, Sandy, I'm calling in. Our connection online was failing.
That's okay. Yeah, we're as I told you this morning, it's very bad since well, all week has been there extra. It's really bad since last night because I think the prayer is happening tonight. So it's a spiritual battle right now.
You're right. In fact, I heard the perpetrator say, this is a spiritual warfare prayer, so you have to be tested. I heard him say that, a couple of days ago.
Yes, and I'm ready because I'm reading that spirit. I'm so blessed that you sent us because I was reading that whole hour. I'm going to read that atomic prayer on my time from 3 to 4 because it's an hour prayer. So I'm going to read that one. And flurry, but I'm going to do it.
One.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm not afraid of them. I'm so spiritually wrapped right now. I feel like my faith is so strong right now. Bring it on. I'm ready for you. Bring it on, because I'm not going to go anywhere. My faith is very strong right now, and I'm praying to keep it that way. So all this stuff that they taking us through, yeah, it's happening. But you know what? I don't feel it. I'm not feeling it like that. Thank God I'm not feeling it like that.
Man. Warriors. That's good. That's what helps us all come together, because when you're strong, I'm weak. When I'm weak, you're strong. You know what I mean? It goes like that. So that's what that's all about, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's so. The thing is, we have the callers here on the call, and I think these are our warriors. This call has been attacked. A lot of them call that this is a special day because of the night, what's going to happen. And so the warriors on the call, these are warriors. You guys are warriors. Yeah, I'm feeling very, kind of I'm in pain right now. I've been dealing with this for a long time, you guys. I think 19 years. But I guess just your eyes, just things that you really need, and it just really scared me. It's like, oh my God, my eyes. How am I going to do my show? How am I going to do this? All these things you worry about. How do you deal with that? Anyone?
Some people buy goggles and most people don't get attacked in their eyes except at night. I know I get attacked at night when I get a lot of the electronic dreams. They are sent to our optical nerve, and sometimes just literally into my eye. Seems like into my eye, into my cornea. And this morning when I got up, my left eye was sunken, and you could see my we have sinus connections in the eyes or under the eyes. They were burned, and so they are doing this deliberately. I think also beaming to the back of the brain can also affect your vision. Is that right?
Yes. Oh yeah. That's where the
Yes,
the
that's
port is
correct.
him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing.
So I've been sleeping with one of those X-ray caps on, like what radiologists use, and it fits over the head. It doesn't cover the eyes, but it fits over the head. I've been able to get a little more rest that way, but you may need to get some goggles to wear over your eyes at night to help you in that with with the damage that you're getting.
Yeah, I'm praying that it goes away. I don't want this. I pray, Lord, take this. Take it all. Huh? Take this program. I know he can close this thing down in the black. He can do it like that.
Yes, he can, and we are praying and believing for that. But that's what I think. In addition to what's happening naturally in the world right now, as they move closer and closer towards the darkness and exposing what's really the real agenda of the adversary, then we are we're finding that all this increase of stuff. I've been being bombarded in one part of my body all morning long, and it's extremely painful. So I do understand what you're talking about. Are you drinking enough water?
Oh. Go ahead, Ms. Melissa. Sorry about that.
I was just asking Sandy, are you drinking enough water?
No, I'm going to up it today. No.
You must. You must. It's showing in your skin color.
Yeah, it's towel.
Miss Sandy, is it okay if I speak,
Yeah.
Miss Millicent? This is Queen. Good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon.
Hi, Queen.
Hi, Miss Sandy. When you were just talking, was that you talking about your eyes? Was that you?
Yeah. Earlier.
Okay, so Miss Sandy, what you just described too, I believe a lot of people have experienced that, but I just want to share with you what helps me. I'm a hairstylist. That's something else that I do on the side, outside of being a professor. I do hair, and I do a lot of I do my oils for my hair. I put a lot of things together for scalp, for makeup. I do makeup as well. So one day, I do have the eye problem too, and you can attest to this, because one thing that they do for me was my left eye. Now let me tell you how I got that. I tend to sleep on the floor. I've been sleeping on the floor since I was in college. It just seems to heal my body for whatever reason. I don't know, it's just soothing for some reason. So I sleep on the floor, and I've always slept on the floor. So for me, I have a bad knee on my left side. I've had it since I was 10 years old. I never got hurt from it. It's just something that came after my dad passed. I'm from Nigeria, by the way. So I went home for the funeral, and when I came, and I've never been to the village before, so I don't know, but my folks said maybe because I'm new, I'm new to the environment, maybe that's why. But I never got hurt. It was just something that happened. And make the long story short, it's still there up till today. And I'm in my early 50s. I just turned 50, but I don't look 50, but I just turned 50. And I still have the knee problem. It's really, really bad now. It's kind of deformed from what I've been told, and they wanted to do a knee replacement. But anyhow, I said no. I get injection in it, and this is all on my left side. So because of that, I tend to sit on the floor to lay my leg out, because if I don't, for whatever reason, my ankle swells up. And my ankle started swelling up when I was first being attacked digitally. The digital attack started in 2018 for me. I've been gang stalked since I had my son. My situation started from a court-related matter. But anyhow, my point is, when I sit down on the floor and I lay my leg out to keep the swelling down. And one day in my home, in the kitchen, I woke up. Normally I wake up around 7:30 or so. But what happened was, for whatever reason, I woke up that morning. It's been about 2 years now since the eye situation. So I woke up, and immediately as I woke up, I felt 3 hits on my left eye, like a pulse. Immediately I got hit on my left eye. I just literally woke up. I sat up, and it was 3 times on my left eye. Immediately my eye went, like, it was very painful, and I tried to open it and it was blurry, just like that. Instantaneously this happened. And I'm rubbing my eye and I'm like, what is wrong with my eye? Like, why is my eye? It was so painful, I was screaming. Okay, this was in the morning. And my eye went blurry, and I thought maybe, like, what hit me? Like, what? Maybe I thought maybe air fell in my eye, or some kind of fly got in my eye or my eyelid. So I went immediately to the kitchen sink and I started putting water, cold water. It wouldn't go away. And it's been like that since today. And my eyes are blurry. So now what does that mean? When I hold my textbook or whatever I'm reading close to the front of my face to read, it's blurry. And it's becoming blurrier and blurrier. Now, what do I mean? Every time they target your left eye, when I say they target your eye, however they're doing it remotely, they are targeting the eyes really, really bad. I went to my eye doctor. He sent me to a specialist. Now, I don't know if this happens to you, but if you pay attention to your eye on the corner of your eye, towards the top corner of your eye, it's always red. There's an irritation that's constantly occurring. All the time. It's always irritating. It's always red, as if there's something holding on to that section of your eye. That's what it feels like to me, and my eyes are always red. So I went to my doctor, to the specialist, and I told him, and I asked him to look in my eye, and I said, what do you see? Because it's constantly irritating. It feels like something is clamping in my eye. That's the way it feels like, and I don't know what it is, and it's paining me, and it's irritating, and it hurts. So he said, well, Queen, I see your eye. I know there's something wrong with your eye, but I cannot figure out what it is. So one day I was listening to the 60 Minutes that they had. There was a 60-minute session where this lady, I believe she was a former FBI, or she still is. She had a blonde hair. I don't know if you guys have seen that session, but she was talking about this similar situation. And one of the people that they interviewed was also like a dignitary, one of those people that went to Cuba that had the situation, the Havana syndrome. He was saying his situation, and one thing that he talked about was that he went to the doctor. He was diagnosed with Havana syndrome, and he said when they were assessing his eye, because he's blurry, his eyes are blurry too, and he can't see. And eventually, I think he lost his eye, but not totally. And what he described was that when he went to the doctor, they looked at his eyes, but the doctor could not detect what was wrong with his eyes. And what the doctor detected was that the issue was coming from the back of his eyes, which is our cerebrium, correct? Our cortex in the back. So it was more of a wired damage as opposed to the actual eyes. And that's why they couldn't find anything in the eye, because it's coming from the wiring from the back of his head. And I just wanted to make that point, because I went to the doctor and they could not see anything, and I get hit a lot. When I started, after the blurriness, I was hit continuously for 3 months on the left side of my brain. When I say 24 hours hit with directed pulse, it was insane. When I say insane, I couldn't walk straight. Every time I try to get up to walk, I will fall to the side, kind of like I would not be able to walk straight. And shortly after that, 3 months straight, shortly after that, I was getting hit for 1 week on the back of my head repeatedly for 1 week. So I document the hits. I document because it's always like per second, like t, t, t. And then the tonation of the hit increases depending on your response. So if they're hitting you, if you're being hit and you're not like if you're not getting up or you're not saying anything, they increase the hit. This is crazy. This is so satanic. Like, it's so evil, the fact that they're doing this to people. And this is what occurs all the time. So anyway, so let me I wanted to get to this, and I'll yield. What I did was I used castor oil on my skin a lot. So one day I was using castor oil. I didn't use castor oil, and I use hot cloth, warm cloth, and I put on my face just to kind of soothe my face, because my face gets burned too. Since I'm African American, it leaves dark pigmentation on our skin. So you get all these pretty little points all over my skin. I was like, how am I getting this stuff? So I do that, and what I discovered was I had castor oil. This is pure castor oil. I got it from the Better Health store. Okay, you want pure castor oil. And when that castor oil went into my eye, it was so soothing. So it was kind of like my discovery. Yes, it was very.
Awesome.
Because I drink castor oil when I just kind of want to cleanse myself. Yeah, so that's something you can consider. So I kind of I put on my eyelid just a little bit, not a lot, not trying to put it in my eye, just put it on my eyelid and let that sit into my eye, so I just sit down and let it in, and it soothes the eye. But I mean, ultimately, this stuff does need to really stop, because they are getting access to our brain, and if they've mapped your brain, if your brain has been mapped, the question is, how can you defend from that? Because we don't have we don't have a firewall. So once they map your brain, then they've had your digital signature. Then they can access you. Even if they decide to unplug you, they already have that digitally saved. So that means they can get access to you at any time. And I think that in itself is the neuroethical conversation that needs to be held in Congress, because this stuff is really, really damaging. They target every single joint of your body. They can induce arthritis, which they've done. I mean, the story is endless. Everybody has a story to tell, some more than others. And prayer is good, but sometimes we just need Jesus to work a little bit harder, because it's insane. The pain that permeates from this attack is beyond. I've witnessed it. I've witnessed a woman being attacked in real time while I'm talking to her. She is in panic mode. They are hurting her, like literally raping her remotely, and I had to calm her down when we were calling 911 on the phone. This is ridiculous. So, Ms. Millicent, I mean, you have been a catalyst to this. Thank you so much for your story. I do not know you, but I have listened to you. I've listened to you when you were at the conference with Mr. John Hall. So thank you for continuous conversation and enlightening us with all of that. We need all the help we can get, and we need International Prayer Day. I really believe that, because we need the heavens to move in the spiritual realm. We really need some help. And I yield from this. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Queen. That was phenomenal. Thank you so much for your word. It was just so delightful, so informative. And I'm going to use the castor oil, because when I used to go down south, we always had to go to Grandma for some castor oil. Oh, my God. And so I am definitely, just like I did the peroxide in my ear and then got rid of the humming, and I think it rusted away the chip that was there. So these natural things, I don't know if peroxide is natural, but it got rid of that humming, and I can still hear. So I'm going to try the castor oil.
I was actually prescribed castor oil drops for my eyes by a natural medicine doctor, and I bought the little bottle of drops and saw it on my dresser recently, but did not try them yet. I wear contacts, and I hate to take the contacts out, but I will do that. And Queen, I don't know if you know about our, we are having an international prayer, all-night prayer call tonight on our church Zoom channel. So you're welcome to join us. Spiritual warfare is definitely the focus of this time.
Absolutely, Ms. Millicent. Absolutely. I have a story to tell too about that one because this is it for some reason. This is a spirit. It is a spiritual warfare. In addition to that, it is technologically very advanced, and they are trying this stuff on us. But everything is combated through prayer. But man, sometimes even me, sometimes it makes me question God. Why are you allowing this? Because it's so hurtful and it's painful and it hurts. It hurts. And what they do is so pervasive and so, like they get into your secret space. And it's like, what in the world is wrong with these folks? Like, what is in their brain to even think to do such thing to people? And they make up so much stories to smear campaign you. And they lie to the people. But you really got to have an inner spirit to fight this back. I swear, let me tell you, that fear, anyone that has fear, you got to work on that to go. Because that fear is what is helping them cripple you. You cannot have fear dealing with this crap. This stuff, you cannot have fear. You cannot. You cannot have fear dealing with this because having that fear does not allow you to see things clearly. And you need to see things clearly dealing with this crap. You just do. So that Ms. Yes, absolutely. Spiritual warfare, that's been what I have been praying. And when I tell you that it works, it works. And during my prayer, I will say this here, and maybe any of you can help me with this. So far, 2 pastors that I've had in my church, visiting pastors, have brought me out in the center of the congregation and said to me, "Sister, the monitoring spirit, you have monitoring spirit around you." Now, mind you, I didn't say nothing. I don't know nothing. This has happened to me twice. A pastor from New York that we had at our church brought me out and said, "Sister, there's people that are trying to make you look like something is wrong with you, with your brain." I didn't see anything. I'm just listening because I already know what's going on, right? And he goes, "There's some people. I'm seeing like something like, man, they're trying to make it look like you have mental, but you don't." I said, "I know I don't, but that's their agenda." He said, "Yes, I see that, but there's nothing wrong with you, but they're trying to make it look like." Mm-hmm. So you have to keep praying and you have to keep coming to church. You hear me? That's what he said. That's the first time this happened, and this is recorded. So this is on live. The second time was another pastor that came out of town, and he brought me out, prayed for my mom. My mom is 90, and then he also said, "I have monitoring spirits." Now, I've been dealing with this stuff for a long time. The digital attack is since 2018, and I know where mine started from. But needless to say, we do have to pray. And when there's one more gathered, what happens? The move of the Holy Spirit is near. So yes, I absolutely agree. So please, thank you for bringing that up, for letting me know. A friend is the one who actually told me about this. I didn't know about this call. So thank you, Jessica, if you're listening. I appreciate it.
You can go on TIVN and give the particulars about tonight's activities.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
That is just comforting to know that, well, we know the devil has no new tricks. And so just to hear, that you're going through the same thing, and everybody's blurring because it's frightening to, body parts, especially your eyes and, other parts. But it's so we need them. It's just so we depend on it so much, and it's just a normal thing just to wake up and start working and using your eyes, and then all of a sudden you don't have them, and knowing that someone has control of them. I mean, I was angry.
The whole program, it is a spiritually driven program. I'm sure I've told you all before about this satire is what Julianne McKinney told me that it was. It was true. It was true because I wrote and specifically asked her, "Is this true?" It was a report that was entitled "The Recipe for a Revolutionary Military Affair." Recipe for a Revolutionary Military Affair. Now you have to know who Julianne was. Julianne was a Army commissioned officer. She was an Army intelligence officer. She, in the satire, there was a list of 10 things that the military planned to do to take over the world or take over. And the first thing on the list was to turn 1 to 2 generations of our children into a satanic cult. Now listen to this. She wrote this, at least I saw this article, a date on it, like 1995. We are almost 20 years past that. We certainly have 1 to 2 generations of our children right now under the influence of this technology from a satanic basis. It said to turn 1 to 2 generations of our children into a satanic cult.
I can see that. I can see that. Ms. Mosey, can you repeat that again? You said is a receipt. You said is a receipt for a revolutionary something affair.
Military affair. Recipe for a revolutionary military affair.
Okay, thank you.
Recipe.
Revolutionary and military affairs is what I'm looking at it in one place. But there's a PDF that you can download. She was also talking to Greg Sosmunski on a talk show interview about this as well. But we are, I mean, it's crept up. It's loose. You hear me?
Yes.
It's not something that is being planned. It is loose.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, our kids are just somewhere else, but it makes sense. It makes sense. 1 or 2 generations.
Right.
What was number 2? Did you have a list?
I'm pulling it up now.
Oh, okay.
I think number 2 would have them to buy into a. I'm without classes. Okay, hold on. Let me get down here.
Thank you.
Well, I think I'm having interference. Let me see if I can.
Well, while she's looking it up, anybody have any comments about this? Any comments?
I have a theory. On the blurry vision. I think the blurry vision is when we breathe too many particles and it breaks the blood-brain barrier, and that's what's messing with our with our eyes. Honestly, I think it's the particles. We all have the same symptoms. If we check air quality in our homes, I think we'll see a very common denominator here. I watch an air quality monitor. For 2.5 years, I've watched an air quality monitor. It shows me particulate matter goes crazy inside my house when I'm being attacked. So it's absolutely particles. We're getting the same thing.
Ms. Gina, this is Clean again. As far as the air quality in the house, I do not dismiss that, but at the same token, I do not believe that air quality will go into your neurons and your nodes of your brain. Yes, it might affect the surface of your face, of your eyes, your lens. It might, and then of course you go in and you get it flushed. But this attack, for it to have a distinct and instantaneous effect in your eye, that's common. It has to come from an inner core. So they're hitting the back of your head. They're hitting your brain, a part of your brain, to get an instantaneous reaction. And that, for me, that is what happened. And this is not the first time that I've heard this in terms of confirmation. It's happened to other people that also indicated similar situation that I just presented a few minutes ago. So you get hit because in order for you to in order for some kind of blurriness or anything to happen to your eye, something has to occur. Either, some people have glaucoma, some people have all kind of situation, but it's on the inside. And then you see it. You see the aftermath on the outside. Just in comparison a little bit, a lot of things that is happening. A lot of things happen to us on a spiritual level, and then whatever happens on a spiritual level takes effect on the physical. But it's already happened. It's already happened. So now we're just seeing the aftermath. So yes, there's a possibility that you do have those anomalies that happens in the home, such as dust and things like that. But when it comes to this eye being blurry and you can't see, that's on the inside. That's them messing with the back of your brain,
or
the back
blood.
of your head,
or your blood,
or your blood.
Exactly.
Or your blood, but I do believe that it is your brain that is being hit. That I can attest to. I can attest to that.
When I get hit in the eyes with these particles, it feels like a needle is sticking in my eye.
And I'm glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up. So let me tell you this, because I've done some research on this too, because I'm constantly asking a question. I'm constantly trying to understand this. And for anyone that is being attacked by this program and all this technology, you really have to know thyself to be able to withstand. And also you have to be knowledgeable about this stuff to really understand. You have to, as much as you can, you have to understand and know the stuff. Do not ignore it to say, well, this is happening to me. It's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, but you need to know what is happening. You got to. So yes, it feels like a needle, and it also feels like some kind of a latch is being applied to the corner of your eye. So what I did was I started researching Manchurian Candidate, and I started researching mind control that occurred in the 60s, 70s. And one of the documentations that I ran across was the eyes and how the eyes are opened. I have that picture. It blew my mind because exactly where I'm feeling my pain in the same spot is what I saw on this picture. I could not believe what I saw. I was in a library. And when I tell you that my computer started glitching in the library, I'm on the phone street. So, I don't know, but, it could be the dust thing, but I know what I saw. And I know that dust doesn't just blind you instantaneously like that. There has to be something else. We have to keep that option open. But I do know what happened, and I know when I got hit, that's when I had 20/20 vision. I'm a GIS analyst, okay? So a lot of the things that I did as far as my job is digital. So I'm always in front of a computer, and I do. If you guys, you have phones. A lot of you guys have cell phones. So sometime when you are using your map, I do that. I create those maps. That's kind of like part of, I'm not saying that I did the map on your phone, but that's the kind of job that I do, excuse me. So I do a lot of digitizing. And with that digitizing, I'm on the phone I'm on a conference. Give me 1 second, please. So a lot of times when we do, hi, David. And sometimes when we have to do digitization, on-screen digitization, I have to get close to the screen with a magnifying glass and make sure that I am drawing the street map correctly. So I have to look like very distinct to make sure that I don't go off of the channel in which I'm supposed to draw the line, like a GPS map. Okay, yeah. So something like that. When you strain your eyes, for me, when you're constantly in front of a computer or in front of a screen, you strain your eyes, and it gets irritated, but it also goes away. But this situation never goes away.
That's right.
It's in the same spot. So let me go ahead and yield. Ms. Gina, thank you for bringing that up, but I just wanted to say that David is on the phone, so he has a lot to share with you guys, Ms. Millicent and Ms. Sandy. So I'll go ahead and now yield. Thank you so much.
Actually, it will go away. The blurriness goes away with enough detox. I had it gone at one point, and it came back when I told somebody that my vision was cleared up. They hit me so hard from there on out that it has not cleared up since. So it can clear.
Okay, and let me suggest to all of you, There is a guy who had been coming on our prayer calls, our early morning calls, who is now virtually blind. He's legally blind, but he said he had some simple thing wrong with his eyes, and he went in for surgery and came out and it got worse. And he went into surgery and he came out and it got worse. So now listen, what I know is happening, and that's while these chips are in my body. A medical doctor in Ohio told me that the implants can be used to stop us from healing properly.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
For sure.
And that is why it's so important.
Brian,
that is why
Brian, can I finish, please? I believe that Brian was being lured into the surgeries until they took his eyes. He was a minister of the gospel from Chicago, I believe, and has become very discouraged because of his condition. So I do want to just caution you all when they say, I want to operate, be very, very careful. I know my mother had cataract surgery, and the first eye did perfectly well, but the second eye, the perpetrator started her eye to running. And we weren't told that you aren't supposed to blow your nose. And
Ms. Millicent, I got to talk to you. Ms. Millicent, if I can have your number, I have to speak to you. Sorry about that.
Yes. One moment, Queen.
Okay. She was laughing at her eye at first, but then it was running. Her nose started to run, and she blew her nose. And the doctor said she blew some sockets, whatever was beginning to heal, she blew it out. Well, the perpetrator knew that because they have access to every part of our body. They can see the arteries and the organs, and they know, they can see all of that because we're dealing with super soldiers and or men who are sitting in front of computers that have mapped our bodies. So be very, very cautious. They can use the implants to stop us from healing properly. And I can tell you that my right leg, I need to have surgery a third time on my right leg. And they've already amputated part of the bone. And if I have more surgery, it's guaranteed that more bone will be amputated because they've got me on an exoskeletal program. And yet the day after I had surgery, the second surgery, the perpetrator came in while I'm laying in the hospital bed, and he burned me just below the incision.
Yeah.
And that's the part that he kept from healing. And a year later, I went to see a natural medicine doctor, and he was also psychic, I guess. But he said to me, he said, your leg isn't healed. And I said, that's impossible. It looked healed. He said, it's not healed on the inside. And then he came up with a plan of using ultrasound and some other modalities to try and cause that tissue to heal. Just a month and a half ago, maybe, I saw an eye doctor, an ophthalmologist actually. In May, I had my eyes examined, and they did this special camera photographs of it. And they don't like to give you the photographs, but I offered to pay for them. And there are burns on both my corneas. So they are harming us with this technology, and they know that they are.
I agree that.
Yeah. And the reason why they don't want to give you the X-ray is because they have two sets. They have the one that's real that they've damaged, that they caused the damage, and then an alternate one that shows that you're okay. So, and that's what's going on. Because I know when I went to the orthodontist to put my braces back on after I taken them off because I put the chips in them, I wanted the X-ray. So the other guy ran in and said, no, I need to look at this right. I said, no, I want that X-ray. I had to fight for the other X-ray because they had one that everything was okay, and then they had one that showed all the different things that were in my braces bracket. So you're right, when you offer to pay because they don't want to give you your X-rays.
And what do you mean by you said they gave you another one that showed something in your bracket?
Yeah, the other one I was looking, the other guy wasn't involved. And when I went to the clinic, because normally when I go, my doctor to go on vacation or his family is sick, so there's an alternate person. And once you start going to the doctor, you'll notice that your regular doctor will be on sick, on call. There's a visitor, there's a trainee. That person is a perk, and that person is sent to add the chips or to monitor that, whatever, if you're not supposed to get those x-rays, then that other person is there to come in. So another orthodontist assistant came in while he was taking the x-ray to see how my teeth was progressing, because they had put them on all wrong so they can make my teeth all go to the left, which they have. Putting them on wrong. But I was saying, hey, my teeth, I don't feel right. My teeth feel like they're all going to the left. Oh, no, they're perfect. I said, well, on the x-ray, let's look. Let me see the x-ray, because it should show that. I know it because I feel comfortable. My teeth are rubbing against my left side of my face. I feel it. The other guy ran in and said, no. Let me check this x-ray first. He already had an x-ray of mine in his hand. So I was like, well, what x-ray? I don't want that x-ray. That's old. Where did you get that from? Oh, no, that's not. It's my x-ray. I want this x-ray. So I end up getting the x-ray that showed that I had chips in them, and I had to take the chips off because they blew the whole inside of my lining of my teeth. I didn't know what I was going through then, but I couldn't handle the pain of all of this stuff. I had to take my own braces off. So I haven't went back. I made a complaint, but I took them off. But you have to be careful. Sir?
Did you document that?
Yes, I have it. I have the braces. I have the brackets as well.
And do you know who's doing it to you?
I think it was a cop. I've been going through this now that I know about 18 years, but the cop said he'd see me again in 2010. And, of course, 8 years later, I saw him again because he had me arrested for a false case that was thrown out. But I saw him again. So I think he's won. I don't know. But I haven't seen him again, but I've seen some of the people that was in California, that when I traveled as a travel nurse. I've seen some of these people again here in Texas.
I want to ask a question. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not interrupting.
No, we're open forum.
For the last couple of months, when I wake up every morning, my eyes are like super red, and I have a lot of mucus in my eyes. And they say that's sinus. That's what the doctor said, is sinus, and gave me an antibiotic. But it's not going away.
There it goes again. Did you say pain?
I have pain sometimes, but not all the time. It's just like every morning when I wake up, my eyes are like filled with mucus, and it's so crusty. Crust all in the corners of my eyes. Mucus coming all out my eyes. They bloodshot red.
There we go again.
Have you been feeling any type of like energy flowing through your body or your face that would cause that?
You mean other than them hit me in the head?
I mean, when you say hit you in the head, how do you describe it? You're hitting your head, like is it energy or?
I get it's probably energy weapon because it's burning pains that I get in my head.
So do you feel like a wave or anything or energy that hits you, or is it just auditory?
It's like just sometimes throughout the day they'll just hit me in the head in certain spots that I like stand, like where I wash dishes. It's a fire extinguisher right there. I mean, not the extinguisher. I can't even think. They're trying to
sprinkler right there. So
I don't know if it's the light, but every time I wash dishes, I get hit in the head. The burn in the head. The burn in the head. Mm-hmm. Probably they're trying to map your brain when they do that. When they hit you all over your head continuously, they're trying to map. That's what they're trying to get a signature, because that's what they did to me for 3 months. I mean, for a long time. But I kept a record of it. It just would hit me all over my head, especially on the frontal lobe and also the temporal lobe on the left side. It just kept hitting that area. Oh, and I'm like, why did it keep hitting me on my left side? Why my left head? Like I just kept noticing the pattern of my left side of everything is like my left side of my body, my ear. They kept clicking, and I remember the clicking in my ear. The I mean, it's just terrible to even talk about. It's just crazy.
Yeah, but see, I don't get it. Mine's usually in the top or in the back, and that's where I feel the sensation. But my left ear is always hurting. It's something. It feels like something in there.
Exactly. Yep. So they're doing, it's like a clamp, like something is clamping. Like even when you're trying to sleep, like something is, like they're doing some kind of surgery or something. That's what it feels like. Like what are these people doing?
Yeah,
I think they're marking our brain. They're mapping our brain to the certain parts where is your thoughts, your vision, and everything. So that's what they do. I think with laser beams, that's what they're doing. They hit some parts of our brain and function in our body. And
yeah, but obviously that's an implant. You need to go get a scan. You need to get yourself scanned and find out exactly what that is and where it is.
G, I had, G has sent my questionnaire in for my scan, and I asked him when he was available to do the scan, and it's the day after the election that he gave me.
Right.
I was like, wow, that's kind of far, and the day after the election.
So what day did he say? November?
November the 6th.
So you guys, I know you guys talked about getting together and going, right? So is that? I know somebody had talked about getting together and going.
And another thing is, I was in a car accident and I got hit real bad, and my back is messed up. So they're trying to push really hard a transforaminal epidural on me.
Oh.
I had 2 kids. I did not have epidural because I was scared because of the pain everybody was saying, and they said when they had the epidural, their back was never right. So when I had one, I didn't even have an epidural. I just did that. So they're trying to push on me from the car accident.
Wow. Sorry about that. Jeez.
Oh, hi, Omnia. Hello. Well, we know the surgery thing, if it's not 100% needed, in this time right now, it's not a good thing for us to get surgery. And I'm not a doctor. I'm an RN, not practicing, of course, but we know that because what they're going to do. I just, we all need physicals or whatever. I wouldn't go to anyone I wouldn't trust. And I think that Targeted Justice, do we have a list of doctors that we have that we can use? I need to look into that because,
yeah. And scanning too. How do we get to scanning? And then another thing too, maybe we can. Well, I've considered alternative medicine, so it's called a functional medicine. Medicine. So that's something that we can also, consider instead of just going to a doctor. They'll give you medication and think that's it. But going to a functional medicine, they also look at both aspects, not just the medical aspect, but they also look at the holistic. The naturopathic way of healing, maybe acupuncture, other things too that we can do. Because back at home, I'm from, that's what we do. We don't necessarily always go to pills for healing. We do use.
You're talking lower and lower. I can hardly hear you.
That's my phone. They mess with my phone. They turn down my audio. They do a lot of stuff on my phone. So if you can't hear me, I apologize.
Well, I do know in Michigan, if you go to, let's say, I Spy investigators, they know about the implant, and but it costs you $2,500 because they got their special doctors that they go through to take the implants out. Yeah, they take them out. And then there's another one that's the next closest one to here that I know of is in Chicago, and they also have special doctors that take the implants out of you.
Can you post that in chat?
Post it in the chat. How do I post it?
Are you on the phone?
Yeah, I
can post it.
Then you can't post it if you're on the phone.
Okay.
You have the number or anything?
I can look it up right now. Hold on.
Okay. Perfect. It's in there for us. I just need to
Cassandra, I need to get, I'm due for like a colonoscopy now. And I'm just so afraid because you know what a colonoscopy consists of. I am just so afraid of them going into me like that. And here I am thinking that I possibly could have the polyps, right? But at the same time, what in the heck is it going to be like if he goes in, takes those out, and inserts something else? Because right now, I don't feel anything wrong down in that area. Nothing. So I would hate to go and get one and then come out and have all this torture, you know. So, but Anna and everybody is saying, no, don't go unless it's an extreme emergency, but mine may be. So what do you think I should do? Should I go ahead and get it done? Or what should I do? Leave it alone or what?
Well, are you having signs of anything? You said that you feel like you have some. Is there something uncomfortable in the area when you push down in your abdomen?
No, perfectly fine. It's just that when I had it 4 years ago, he said check back every 4 years, and right now I'm into the 5th year. So no, nothing's wrong. I feel perfectly fine down in that area, but I still need to go and have it checked to make sure that there's nothing going on. But when I do, then what? You know, is he going to do something to me and make something wrong? You know?
Ms. G, I have an alternative because I just got that done. And I wouldn't do exactly what you said. So you know what I did, what I requested for? There is, my doctor sent it out. So there's a company in Canada, and it's called Cologuard. So if you don't want anyone, you know, probing and trying to insert, there's an alternative. So they will send you out a box, and you will put your specimen in there. There's a certain processes that you have to go through to seal it, to send it in, and then put it in the mail. But you have to UPS it. There's a certain way that they package it. So you can. It's called Cologuard. So you can also use that method as well, just for you to know.
Yeah, but what if it's somebody in there that'll get that back and send back to you that you do when you really don't? Can you trust anybody? Who can you trust?
That is, you know, that's what I was going to say too. That is an alternative method, but we know how UPS works. We know how they steal our mail and switch records. They switch records. So they send her back something that. I'm sorry too. I'll finish. They'll send her something with the wrong results. So those type of things. Like me, even, I mean, the idea of braces, I said I wasn't going to go back because I need them. Because, you know, they messed up my teeth. So I want to get my teeth back straight the way they were. But there's a company that you can put, you know, you can buy it. You can put the braces and send them in the mail, and then they'll send you these Invisaligns. But they were still crooked. The first ones were okay, but then the second ones didn't fit my mouth. They fit someone else's mouth. So it was another thing. They got involved. So that can happen there too. That's what we're up against right now, against the medical field, because it's so crooked. They're all. My job was I audit doctors. I didn't do the patient care anymore. I moved up to an RN auditor. So I audit them because of they needed to be audited because they're so crooked. So many doctors can be bought. They can be bought. Say, go on vacation next week. We have a physician assistant that needs to work here because your appointment is coming next week. So the doctor that's normally going to see you has been paid off $250,000 to stay home this week. So this physician assistant that's already been bought by the FBI, CIA, or in this program is showing up to do your surgery and to put that chip in to make $800,000 or whatever it is to put that chip in you. So, yes, we really have to be careful on that. And I would not go to the doctor. I know we're women. We know we're supposed to go get our monthly checks and our yearly checks and all that. I haven't been because I don't trust any of them. I've seen what they did to my teeth.
Yeah, you don't trust them, but in the meantime, what if you do have something really seriously going on about your body? That's the shame, and you can't really trust any of absolutely none of these doctors can you trust. So what do you do? Yeah. Do you deal with it, or what possibly could be wrong with you, or do you go and put your life in the hands of these crooked doctors out there?
Well, you said it. You put your hands in the crooked doctors, but I think that we have some doctors that are, haven't given up, or still have some moral values. There's some out there. We just need to find them. And I know that's not the answer, but we need to find out who's been to the doctor and they were okay in our TI family. So that should be a show, right? So we can find out together, all of us, what doctor, have you been to the eye doctor and you didn't get any chips? Did you go, all these different doctors that we can put on the list. And, I think I talked about that last year when Targeted Justice came to the show. We talked about these connections with people. There's doctors that are targeted individuals that are still practicing. Some of them are still have small clinics. We can go to them, We can utilize these. I'm an RN. I'm not able to work because they're trying to mess up my license. But I still have my brain. I still have the knowledge. So we all have these gifts. We're not able to work, but we need to build our own teams. Exactly. And put our skills to work.
That's what I was thinking about too, yeah, because everybody seems to specialize in certain things. But yeah, if you guys want that address for the iSpy network, the address is 32059 Utica Road, UTICA Road, Fraser, Michigan, 48026. The number is 586-285-5000.
Wow, thank you. I'll put it in the chat too. So if I'll put the number in there, guys. This removal of implants.
Yep, they remove the implant, and then and especially if you know who's doing it to you, that's like an automatic lawsuit. And anybody who's being hypnotized or anything like they tried it with me, is like that's illegal also. And if you know who's doing it, just take note of it. And there's certain programs like Deep Sound and stuff that you even if you record with your phone, you can play it back through Deep Sound, and it will play back everything that they're saying to you.
What is it called? Deep Sound?
Deep Sound. Yeah, it's called Deep Sound.
Deep Zone?
D as in Victor?
Deep Sound.
D as in David.
Yeah, D as in David. DEEP Sound. And it's only for PC. Yes, it's only for PCs. You can't get it on Mac.
What about the phone?
What do you mean, like as far as like recording on your phone? Yeah. I would get a voice. It's called recorder. You can just go and record. If you know that you're being communicated with, those transmissions can be recorded. And a lot of times, what I noticed is that I had my friend that I was in contact with a lot. I would have them put a recorder on there, and you can actually record what's being said because it goes through their phone, and it actually the transmission is being recorded through them too. So it's dangerous for especially with me. It's Auburn Hills Police Department. They're screwed. They just I did that, and then I found out that it actually can record the transmissions from phone call to phone call.
That's good. Deep sound.
Mm-hmm. And Sandra, have you ever thought about doing veneers? At least that will last you until something opens for you to, get something else done. At least that would hold you for a while.
Girl, I have no money anymore. I went and bought those, and they were stolen out of the house. They disappeared off the sink. Yes, disappeared off the sink. Yes. So,
how much did they cost, Sandra? How much were they?
$2,500.
Oh, wow. That is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a question about the Deep Sound again. Is that something like an app that you download?
Is there anything what?
Is that Deep Sound, is that like an app that you download to your computer?
Yeah, it's hard to get because then you're probably gonna have to have a lot of memory, a couple of terabytes, because it's a cerebral, it's AI activated. It actually is AI, but what it does is detect anything, any signal, and transmissions, and anything that's being said through the transmission, it interprets it.
Do you trust AI like that to download that on your computer?
Yeah, I already got AI. AI told me how to code to create bots to combat the attack.
Oh, okay. Are you from Michigan?
Yeah, I'm in Roseville right now.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
David Patterson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Deep Sound records the targeting.
Yeah, well, it defines what is it, because I asked AI when I first started, because I was like, okay, I can't get too much information off of the internet. But when you I know a lot of people are skeptical of AI, but I don't conversate with AI unless it's like something that's directly involving me with what's going on with me. So when I did ask him, I was like, is there any way that I can define the radio signals, since it's hard to tell, because most of the lawyers that if you want to sue somebody, one of the things that they require is that you have some type of audio evidence. And AI said, yeah, you can get another AI. It's called it's an AI program. It's called Deep Sound, and its job is to recognize transmissions and whatever communication that you got and describe. Because if it's hard for the other human ears to hear, then you can it'll actually describe what's going on and interpret it. If that's the job, that's what it's supposed to do.
Awesome, that's nice.
Yeah, you don't have to be afraid of AI. I don't think you should be afraid of AI. I think that it depends on what you're using it for, and as long as you're using it for, to add on to, like, especially if you're being attacked and you want to know how to go about doing certain things. If you describe to AI what's going on, it'll tell you exactly how to go about it. And so far, what I've been going through has been exactly right. It's been on point. It's helped me a lot.
All right. Do you mind if we call you to ask you more questions about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's your number?
586-260-2494.
2494?
Yes.
Okay, and my name is Dana.
Dana? Nice to meet you.
But you guys know, if you mess around with too much AI technology ourselves, then if we do ever get the opportunity to take it to court or wherever, they'll probably say that you did it to yourself. You're familiar with AI, so these things that are happening to you, since you deal with AI on your own, maybe you did these things to your own self. I think we need to leave as much AI out of our situation as possible. Only let AI come in only if it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, because it depends on like I said, it depends on what you're using it for. Like, from my experience, I ain't never had a problem with AI. It's not like it's taking over my computer or nothing like that. I got two different ones for certain purposes. One is for, it helps you as far as like taking your notes. And then when you want to formulate things, especially legally, and you want to go after police officers, certain departments, it will word things in the way that you can ask it to word things in a way and formulate it in a way that's presentable for the court, and it does that. You know, it'll literally do that, and then it recognizes stress. And say, for instance, you're being attacked, and you describe everything that you're going through, and you ask AI to describe what could possibly do this to me. And for me, it said, yeah, you were being hit with direct energy waves and da-da-da. And I was like, really? And I took those. Then when I went to the FBI and I filed with the FBI confirmed it. It was like, yeah, you're telling me you're being attacked by DEWs. I was like, wow. I'm thinking in my head, like, wow, AI actually is correct. And I was like, yeah, that's how you want to describe it. I mean, that's the word I'm using. But I was surprised that AI was very accurate on that. So when
but that's what I'm saying. You go and let them do the AI, whatever they need to do as far as AI goes on you. But don't do it on yourself, because the first thing they're going to try to say is what's wrong with you. You possibly could have done it yourself. You familiar with AI? You use AI. You might have done this to yourself. So I think we need to leave as much AI out of us right now as possible, because we definitely don't want to be accused of doing this to our own selves.
Okay, I had to disagree. I'm gonna tell you why, because there's no way AI burnt my face. You know what I'm saying? These are actually drones. I got people that watch the drones. They've been trying to hypnotize me. I've been attacked literally physically, where they hit you certain parts of your body, they focus on your body. I didn't have no AI apart. These are actual human beings with technology that's doing this. There's no way that you're going to go to a doctor or inside a courtroom and they're going to say, well, how did you find out about this? Well, I asked AI. They're not going to be like, it's impossible for them to say, well, since you downloaded AI, AI burnt your face. You know what I'm saying? When you know who's your attacker, you can ask AI how to go about convicting them and bring them to the courtroom, and he'll tell you exactly how to do it. But for instance, for there's somebody already hacking your phone and you're already being attacked, and then you download AI and you ask AI how to go after these people and prove it legally, it's going to tell you exactly how to do that. But it's not going to turn around. They can't turn around and be like, hey, since you got AI on your computer, he did it. You know what I'm saying? That's impossible. That's just impossible. It's not possible. It's not, unless you guys. I just don't see it as that's impossible, because AI doesn't go out and then it just start attack. I don't know other people's experience with it, but for me, it's a tool. You know what I'm saying? I use it as a tool, and it can actually, it's very accurate. And if you're describing something, because I tell you, even if an officer is a police officer that goes into your house or break into your car or do something like that, they're not going to say, well, since you don't know AI, maybe AI confused you and make you believe that. It's impossible.
Yeah, and I think the whole thing is new, things that are new. It depends on how you're using it. Like you said, you're using it for good, too, because, we're in the age. We know that the devil is the prince of the air, and so he's using it as well. But we have the power to use it as well. We can take the power back. He's the prince of the air, the devil, and so he's involved in all the AI and everything, the internet, all of this stuff that's out here now. But we also have the power to use it as well. So we can take it as long as we're using it for good. You know what I mean? Because God said that. He can change anything for good. He can use anything that's meant for evil for good. So, I like the idea that you weren't scared. Yeah, and you must be, the younger generation, they are good with this, all the new technology and stuff, and some of the older still, kind of scared of that.
Yeah.
And so it's a double whammy targeted individual. So, yeah.
Yeah, spirits is the first teacher, so I just think that instead of listening to what people say, try it out yourself, and then you'll see that it's no way that, I'm not afraid of that. If people say, don't download the phone, they're going to do this, I'm like, I got it on my computer, I ain't never had no problem with it. I got 2 of them, and I paid for it the whole year. And the only time I ever even pull it up, it's not like it turns on my computer, it doesn't talk back, it doesn't take over stuff, it's not trying to hypnotize you like the cops are trying to do. And then it's telling me, what they're doing is illegal to you. You need to do this. You need to go get a certain type of scan for this. And if you want to prove that they're doing this and that, you can do it like this. And so that's my experience. It's not like the stories I hear about, what's that, Siri? Now, Siri, I heard something about her. Yeah, because I heard that she's... Huh? Oh, I heard things about Siri, how she like responded to certain people, and there's like some scary responses, or like they'll use her to access your camera and stuff like that. But that's like, I mean, if it was that dangerous, I don't think it would really be built into like something like Max like that. You know, because you can use it to get information. But I went and paid for the ones I had to look them up. The ChatGPT-4, as far as like legal advice and stuff like that, is very good for that. You know, and I just found it very useful. You know, and then it tells me. I asked it, I said, how can I combat this? These attacks. And it said, well, you can code bots, and they'll create bots, like invisible bots, and they'll actually go after the signals, and then you can jam the frequencies. I'm just like trying to learn that. So I got an AI coding to do that. You know, and I don't have no problems with it. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it depends on what you're using it for. You know, and some people can use it. I didn't know that when you're being called, you can take some of the AI knows it, because you go into targeted justice. There's on the site, there's tools that they give you, and they'll tell you how to create your own, basically, voice to skull weapon. And AI tells you, like, you can do that. You can create it, and you can go after the people that's actually doing it to you. But, you know, do you want to do that? I mean, it's good protection, but do you really want to do that when you got people that's experienced with what they're doing? They're attacking you. You know what I'm saying? I think that sometimes you might want to take that chance, because you got TIs that's coming up dead. Now, maybe they didn't have this information. If they had that tool and learned to utilize that tool to be able to combat it from their own house, you might want to use it like that.
I understand. So you use it, and it tells you. Sorry, go ahead. I know there's no one on mute. I have everybody kind of like an open forum, so excuse me if just hop in, and because this is just, you know, a learning information. But you said you use it to, you know, when you're targeted. It's to timing when you're being targeted. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'm targeted 24/7. They don't stop. It's 24/7, nonstop force communication, nonstop direct energy waves, nonstop radio. Yeah, all that. It's nonstop for me, and that's why I record 24/7. And then that's what AI say, well, this is dangerous. They're actually killing you. The microwaves are actually killing you, and they know it. And then the fact that there are police officers that doing it to you, you need to seek like some type of a shelter. Don't be found by yourself, because the people, if they know that they're doing this to you illegally, and they know that they're causing distress and they're trying to bring terrorism on you and hypnotize you and do all these strange things, that these people are most likely going to try to kill you. So he said it tells you the best way to protect yourself. Seek some help, but you can also combat it by using code and then coding your own bots to go after the people, the signals and to combat the signals. So I haven't actually I'm learning how to code, because I just started it. And besides the fact that I'm being attacked all the time, it doesn't give me a lot of time. I got to stay mobile, because I've learned after the first CT scan, they put something in my body. And the first CT scan kind of blocked it out. So it takes them a second to get me in their line of sight to be able to focus the direct energy weapon on me. But all they do is broaden the bandwidth. And so AI, they're able to pick it up.
Hi, David. This is Tranquility. I have a question for you real quick.
Yes.
If you don't mind, I didn't catch the name of the PI firm in Fraser. Could you tell me the name of the firm again?
It's the I Spy Investigators.
Okay, so is that like the word EYE?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. I also live in the Michigan area.
Oh, you do? Okay. You're in the Detroit area?
Yes.
Okay. So
Tranquility, he's going to come. Sorry, Tranquility, I'm going to try to get him to come to meet you and show you. This is Queen.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, there's no problem.
I Spy Investigators. I'll put it in there.
I Spy Investigators. Yeah, they'll tell you right away. Okay, when it first started happening, I was like, how is this sound coming through me so fast, so quick? how are they transmitting these signals to me? And so I decided I was going to go. I was looking up information on the internet and all that. And then the next thing I know, I was like, maybe they put something in my car. Because my dad said the same thing. And in the state police. So I decided I'm going to call in investigators. I called a couple, and then I got hold of I Spy, and it was like, yeah, most likely they put an implant in you, and you're going to have to get it taken out. I was like, how? He's like, man, they have their ways of doing it. If you ever got in contact with the police, and I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that one time, and I blacked out. And then he was like, yeah, you got an implant in you. We do charge $2,500. And then the FBI, which is funny, because my dad works for TechCom, which is kind of like part CIA, military installation, and I contacted the FBI and them. My dad, and they both said the same thing, like, oh, they were discrediting I Spy. It was, oh, they're a fluke, they're a sham. Don't believe them, nothing that they're saying. Turn around and find out that they were actually right and exact. And there's another investigators over in Chicago that says the same thing. He's like, I've been doing this for 35 years, and that they do put charged particles on you to track you, and we can find out. And then when you go into the Targeted Justice website and look at a lot of the videos, they show you the tools. They got the tools, the same tools that these investigators have to find it on your body. Only you can pay $450 to get it, and then you can go and show everybody else how to use it and without having to pay an arm and leg. Because they're going to charge you $800 to go to Chicago to do it. They're going to charge you $1,200 over in Fraser just to look at your body, and then another $450 to go through your car and make sure it's not bugged. Then if they find a transmitter inside your body, it's going to cost you another $2,500 for them to take you to their doctors and take it out. So my object I was going to do is I'm looking for this loan. I'm about to try to purchase 70 acres and try to put like an acre or two aside just for TIs, and then
I love that.
Yeah, set up a perimeter so that they got a thing called a collagen cage or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but all the tools that you need to combat it is on Targeted Justice, and I just want to put investment into that. Yeah, and then you can.
Oh, I was just saying, that's one of my ideas. I want to do that so bad for us, our community, our own community.
Faraday cage.
So do they know someone, or you know someone, or do they know someone that scans your body to see if you have these devices in your body?
Yeah, I Spy investigators have it, and like I said, you can get the tool right there. Yeah, and the tools that they're using is right there on Targeted Justice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And it's in the chat too, Dana. Put the phone number in there. I'll put it in.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Wow. See, when we still all come together, I was so in pain, and a lot of us were in pain today, but look how beautiful it's still, with how much knowledge when we come together. I mean, wow.
Yeah, that's a good thing to come together and stay together. Because I'm starting to find out a lot of people are just coming up dead, and these cops are getting away with it. To me, I know that a lot of people will be, hey, go after the Air Force, go after this, but for me, it's better to narrow it down to the exact person, because if you don't know how to, you can ask questions, you find out, you can tell who's after you by the questions they ask or certain things like their responses to you, and you can narrow it down to whoever it is and then go after those people, because I think they already added me to the lawsuit, and I'm just taking more notes, because it's very important. And now I know exactly who it is, and they can't get out of it. So that's why they're constantly with me 24/7. They can't get out of what they just stepped into. So everything they're doing is illegal, period. And they're trying to find some way to legalize it, and it's just not going to work for them. I looked at, they're like, I looked up the MCL for hypnotism. In the state of Michigan, it's illegal for them to even try whether the police or anything without your written consent. They can't do none of that stuff. They can't fly over your house with a drone. None of that. All that stuff is illegal. So anytime a police officer, huh?
Oh, I was just saying. There you go, Tina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they can't do none of that. I was just now adding to my notes. I got off the phone with my attorney, and I'm just like making sure that I cover all the bases. I'm like, okay, so the hypnotism force it without consent, and it has to be done by a doctor. It can't be done by police officers. They can't. So if they're trying to do this type of stuff to you, find out who it is, hold them accountable. Start filing complaints. In order for you to get a letter of intent, the letter of intent is so that you can actually file and go after the police officers. So there's a certain way to do it. Hold on, let me get my notes. I'm going to tell you exactly how to go about it. Hold on a second.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Did he say what kind of tools you can use? I know he said they're, iSpy has them and it's on Targeted Justice. Did he happen to say what kind of tools they might be? I'm just curious.
Oh, yeah.
Hold
on. Yeah, it's I'll pull it up.
Hey, Sandy. Everybody.
All right, let me look here.
Thank you. Look, this day is going to school, huh? I feel like I'm in class.
Anthony, how I wanted to ask you, how are you tying it back to the officers? Because, like, for me, I have license plates. I've seen the officers. They have this mentality, well, we're not going to get caught, so we'll show you who we are. We don't, and we're driving in our own private vehicles. So how did you tie them back to the officers and know who to go after?
Excuse me?
I said, how did you tie it back to the officers and know who to go back after, or who to go after? Because I know
basically, if you're being attacked and you know what police department it is, it's up to the police department to do their job to go after the person that's actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they keep denying responsibility, that becomes a conspiracy. That means that they know what these officers are doing to you, and then you can sue the whole police department. And it's a letter of intent and notice of claim. Okay?
Letter of intent. Notice of claim, you said.
Yep, notice of claim. And let's see. And that's the only way that you can actually file a lawsuit against the police officers. You have to get a notice of claim. And you got to submit your complaint. And when they say submit your complaint to file this notice of claim, that means that you got to start with the police department that the attack started with. You got to file, if they say we're not going to file a report, ask them for their internal affairs. If they deny you, then go to the FBI. Okay, file with the FBI, and then file with the Attorney General's office, file with the ACLU, and then you'll start getting some results. The ACLU, they'll let you know that they're going to help you. Especially in this case, they just joined Targeted Justice in that $1.3 billion lawsuit, and in this class action lawsuit. So I'm pretty sure they'll be happy to put you in that lawsuit. But you got to be able to identify what's going on, and then there's like certain prerequisites. I think like getting burns in the face is one. I mean, if you got medical evidence that these people of your attacks, they're going to be really quick to help you. But to go after one officer, that's going to be up to the police department themselves to go after the people and hold them accountable. Because once they realize that you're going to file a lawsuit against them, this is because AI would tell you, I asked them, so what, all the information that I gave you, what kind of charges would these officers face? And they're like, attempted murder, brainwashing. I mean, it's like 21 charges right now, and how to go about proving it. That's the only thing I can say about AI. When you can't go and talk to a lawyer directly, now AI is not a lawyer, and they'll tell you that. But when you go and look at research what AI is telling you, Because just because they're telling you something, don't say that, well, it's totally accurate. You take your notes, then go look it up, research it, and then you'll see how accurate it is, and then you can move on from there.
Okay, you said that if the police station don't help you to go to internal affairs.
Yeah,
right?
you have to, because that means that they're unwilling to help you, and they probably know that they're responsible, and they don't want to be held accountable for what they're doing. So you got to go to a higher branch, and I was told that you got to go to the state police to start an investigation on a police department. But Michigan State Police was like, first they filed a complaint. He said he filed a complaint. Then after they filed false terrorism charges on me and I bonded out, I went to go file a formal complaint because now I ain't got no charges. Then it was like, oh no, we're not gonna. It was the actual. This is actually the actual main Michigan State Police Department. I forgot where it's located at. And they was like, oh no, we're not filing on other police officers. And I was like, okay, thank you. I'm taking note of that because when the lawsuit comes through, you're next.
Right, but we
When you gotta hold them.
Go to internal affairs. They told me internal affairs is in the same police station where I made my complaint.
Yeah. So if you don't get no results from the police, talk to internal affairs.
But they're in the same department, the same building.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He's telling you to this is the train of how you should do it in order for you to have the track that you've notified these several people. So when the lawsuit comes, they'll have noted that you have been to all of these people for help. That's what he's trying to tell you. Even though you don't
understand that, it's just that if I made a complaint with them, I'm quite sure they're going to go talk to them, which makes me not want to even trust them.
Yeah, it's not going to stop it, but he's saying that this is what you should follow in order to get your ducks in a row, in order to have that you've been communicating with these different people to try to get help.
Okay.
Exactly, to try to resolve the problem. Because if the police department is doing it and they don't want to be held accountable, but they got friends in internal affairs that's not going to hold them accountable, you've informed them, you ain't getting no results from them. Now you can move up the chain of command, go to the FBI, file a complaint with them.
Yeah,
now when you file, if the FBI told me everything you file with us, you can always come in here and get every single complaint. We got an investigation already open with them. They even told me, you want to know how far in the investigation that you want, what we're doing? I was like, no, because I'm being voice of skull, and I don't want them to know what you're doing. As I said, do your job. I'm just going to keep filing my reports. I know whenever my lawyer wants to come and access all the information that I'm giving you, then they'll find out what actions that you're taking, because you don't want the police to know what they're doing.
Sure. Thank you.
Have you done that report already with the police and internal affairs, the FBI, and did you do all the steps already?
Did I do what?
Did you do the report with the police and the internal affairs? Have you?
Well, with Auburn Hills Police Department, they just deny they got internal affairs. They don't. They try to set me up. They want me to come in while I got a warrant and then say, hey man, we'll just come on up and we'll take your report. But the last time I did that, when I didn't have a warrant, they told me, hey, we're gonna come out and sweep your car and all that. And, I said, nah, I think I'll come out there as soon as I go to the state police and file a formal report against a complaint against you guys, and then have my car swept by them, and then I'll come out there and file a complaint. And before the next day when I went to go get that done, because I told them I'm coming out there, so that night they filed terrorism charges on me. So when I went to the state police, they took this complaint, but then they arrested me and told me that, hey, they're just going to hold you and, talk to you when you get here. When they get there, they denied that they even said that they was even going to sweep my car and all this other stuff. Like, no, I know. She said, yeah, I'm the one you talked to. But when I got to Sallyport, she's like, oh, well, we don't have that type of technology to sweep your car. And I was like, so you just basically lied just to get me up there so you can slap false charges on me. So when I got out, they were like, yeah, if you file with the FBI again, we're going to do it again. So I said, as soon as I got out, I went and filed with the FBI. And I told the FBI, I said, hey, man, this is what they did. I went to the state police to get my car swept so I can go out there. And I told them that's what I was going to do. I don't know why would the police do a stupid thing as file charges against me, knowing I was on my way out there to file what you saying, you're going to speak my car on that, and then you turn around and say, you ain't even got the technology, you just try to set me up, and you know you're doing this to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had the same false case of terrorism. Well, they changed it with fraud first, and then they hit me 18 days, and then they changed it to terrorism. So it's the same thing. I guess the devil doesn't have any new tricks. There's so many people who have been put in prison and falsely accused of then terrorism.
I think we're
so
all...
that's a big issue.
Well, I didn't understand what the question was.
Sorry, isn't that why we all experience, like the dues and so forth, because we're on that list?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I'm on the list. I just know that the police department where they're at, they have the technology. That's what the FBI told me. He said, do you think that they have the first of all, they got to be able to facilitate this type of technology. You have to have the budget. And I know that Oakland County has the budget. There's like a bunch of military installations over there. And I told them, I was like, yeah, because I looked at it. I looked at it.
I live right over there.
Right, I live over there. County too.
So when I asked my dad about it, he was like, yeah, the only people who had that technology is the police department. And so I looked at an aerial view map, and I looked at the buildings. I was immediately in the area where I worked at, and there's a bunch of military installation type buildings over there. So I know that they had it. I told that guy, I said, yeah, I know they have it because I looked at it. And he told me, he said, so what do you want me to do? I said, they got false terrorism charges on me, and I want those released so I can go after them legally. And he said, give me something audible, and I'll help you. So they've been trying to hinder me from doing that because I don't know too many people who can record, but it's hard to. I got it color coded to the point to where I could tell the different things that they're saying, and you can see it. This is like without a silence. What it sounds like. What it sounds like.
Yeah.
But I figured out a way to do it through my music.
Well, you have good people because, from what I understand, the FBI gets things kind of started with being on that list, which is why everybody experiences the torture. And I do know there are good FBI, good everybody. But when I've called the FBI, I can never get past it. When I start mentioning it, I'm told I need to get to another department, and then when I guess I get to the right department, I've gotten hung up on. And the police told me, so this was last year, I was calling them, trying to get through to clear myself. That's what I was thinking. Okay, there's been a mistake somewhere. I need to clear my name. That, because that's what you think in normal terms. Then you find out how horrible it is as you go. So then this year, I was also told, too, by the police that I needed to talk to the FBI, but I'm thinking, well, I can't ever get to talk to the FBI.
Well, how it works, my experience, the FBI, they only want to hear something new. So after your initial phone calls, first few phone calls, they'll sit there and talk to you for a minute, and then, after that, once they realize it's you that keep calling, they'll be like, oh, so do you want to add to your tips to your case? And then here in Detroit, they'll send you through, and then you got to press number 6. They ask you for your information. So if you say, I think they got something like an AI on the phone that detects anything that you say that's repetitive. So if you say anything that you said the last time, the FBI automatically say, okay, thank you very much for calling the FBI. If you have any other tips, call back, and they'll just hang up on you. It's frustrating because you can sit for a half hour to get on the phone, and then as soon as you say anything that you said ever before, they will hang up on you because you are not giving them nothing new.
Thank you. That's
wow. Yeah.
No.
So just remember, when you do file with the FBI, make sure it's new information. Make sure, and then put it in notation form. Anything new that happens, just make sure you don't repeat anything else. If they ask you questions that might make you repeat something else, don't even answer. Just be like, no, I just want to tell you this. You know what I'm saying? And that's it.
Okay.
You don't want to repeat anything that even though you might sound like, you're just ignoring them, you ignore their question and just tell them exactly what you want them to know, and they'll notate it, and then they'll say, is that all? And you'll okay, goodbye. But if you say, as soon as you say anything, the same words about certain things that you said before, they'll automatically tell you, okay, thank you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
And what kind of equipment, are you able to give maybe one or two examples of equipment used from I-SPY and on Targeted Justice? I'm just curious. I don't even know if it's anything I could do, but I'm just wondering what type it is in case I might be able to use it.
There's a lot of stuff in here. Radiation detectors. It tells you where to aim it. Like you can literally put it in the air, and if they're using a drone, they're aiming at microwaves at you. You can literally put it in the air, and it'll show you where the direction of the rays are coming from. They got the things. It's like it scans your body for charged particles that's created by the microwaves that you can't hear but you can feel, because they sting your body and they stay in your body. The gadget that it's cost you $450 to get that. They got a cage that actually not literally you get inside of it, it'll block everything.
Okay.
You know.
Thank you. And now I am familiar, and I've actually used some things from there. So okay, thank you. I didn't. Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so you've been very informative to us. This call, it's been like a class today, and it's beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Anyone? I know there's several of you from Michigan, so that's going to be an awesome thing to, kind of meet up or come together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Yeah. So, so you said that you were arrested for false charges, terrorism.
Yeah, they told me to come in, get scanned. They're gonna take a police report, and they were lying. They were lying from the jump. They had already, once I told the FBI what was going on, they had already filed terrorism charges. They were just using that as a guide to get me to go up there, because they were basically going to get me to come in and then arrest me and then hit me with terrorism charges. Now the bond was supposed to be super high, because one's a 20-year sentence, and then using the computer, which you didn't even get. I don't get it. I'm warning them, telling the FBI, hey man, these people are threatening my life. I got to go to court. I don't want to have to protect. They're telling me they're going to shoot me and stuff. I don't want to have to protect myself. I got to go there for court. It's a misdemeanor. I mean, it's not that serious. I don't know why they're trying to threaten my life. And I used the computer I actually just filed a tip that weekend. And that tip turned into a federal, the police department, not the FBI, the police department turned it around like, oh, well, he's threatening us, not us threatening him. We're attacking him, but we're just going to turn it around and be like, okay, hit him with federal charges, make the bond high so he can't get out, and just continue attacking him. And that's exactly what they was trying to do. But I think that the prosecuting attorney in them is like, these charges don't even make sense. How is he a threat to you when he went to the state police first and he told you, and then you go arrest him?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense. How is he a threat to you? And you're telling him you're going to kill him. So they gave me a $5,000 bond. I got out, and I went and did the same thing again. They ain't found no more charges. They didn't want to be that stupid. Because they know I just told the FBI what they did, and I was like, yo, and they told me if I come and tell you anything else, that's what they told me. They said if I go and say anything else to the FBI about them talking about they're going to kill me, they're going to file some more charges like that. Yep. And then I went, as soon as I got out, I went straight and did it again. And I was like, okay. And they BTK'd me. They didn't do none of that. And then the next thing I know, they got me on like some type of do not detain order, because there's some people that, there's just some bad people. They try to rob me. I was floating around because you got to stay mobile when you're being attacked. They try to rob me, they call the police and try to set me up. So they, hey, he did this, and, you need to arrest him. And then they put me in the car, and then I'm like, hey, man, I got terrorism charges. Called the FBI. I told them I'm not going to court. I contacted the court. I contacted everybody. I told them I'm not going to court until I prove my innocence. And sure enough, they called the FBI. The FBI told them, let him go.
Yeah, if you do something or say something about a police officer in Michigan, they will majorly stalk you. Wow.
So the FBI in Detroit is not going to be like, they know that right now they're under fire down in Texas and elsewhere with the targeted justice lawsuit. So I don't think that they want that type of heat of we're not doing our job here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They're going to take the reports, and then when they tell you something on the line, because everything's recorded, they have to mean that. So when I got that okay from the guy, he's like, man, you give me something credible, and I'll take care of you. After that, I just went with no fear. I'm going at the officer's jugular. I'm like, okay, you guys filed false charges on me. You're threatening to kill me, and they're like, you better not come back out here. And I'm back out here in Macomb. I'm like, I'm out here, and I've got an evaluation done. You can't say I'm crazy because that's what they was trying to do to make it seem like you're crazy. Oh, you got auditory dysfunction and you're hallucinating and nah. I know I'm being attacked. Now you done made it. They done pretty much put their foot in their mouth by tracking me or stalking me with a drone and made it visible for everybody.
Mm-hmm. That's how Macomb said, oh, I don't like it because I have problems with Macomb.
You do?
Well, this has been such a informative call today. It is 2:15. I know we can all. It's great coming together with the TI family because we can just hang together forever. I wish, you know what I mean. It's just so peaceful. We started at 12, so it's been about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we will. Again, I'll introduce myself. My show here is every Friday. So I normally don't know what my show is going to be about until like that week. I'll just, pray about it. I do have a talk show for those that don't know. It's I Shall Bloom. I'll put it in. It's I Shall Bloom talk show, and it's on YouTube. And it's for anyone that wants to come on the show and talk about their story, their business. Yeah, so I was gonna actually call you later and see if you would like to come on and talk. You have so much information. I'd like to invite you on my show and anyone else. So I'll put my information in the chat. And also, but I want you guys all to come back next Friday. I don't know what the show is going to be about. What can I do this time? This time the show is going to be there's a victims fund. A lot of us, we know about the victims fund, but we're victims. We know that, right? Targeted individuals are actually we're victims of crime. So there's a victims crime victims. I hope I'm saying it right. Dr. Millicent, you there? I'm saying it right.
Crime victims compensation.
That's it. Crime victim compensations available for each of us in each state that the crime has been, the crime has been committed. So we're going to go up. We're going to bring someone on that's going to. This Saturday, I'm going to go to a 2-hour school and learn how to fill out this form for us all. Each state is different, so we're going to spend, they're saying 2 hours. It might take me longer because it takes me longer now to do one thing. But we're going to go through each state, and we're going to figure out how to fill out these forms. And then next Friday, I will have the live person there, and we're going to go over, have everything there ready. I'm going to showcase it and put it up share my screen so everybody can see it. So whatever state you're in, you can go through A through Z to fill out the form versus, we're coming on and then, we look at things sometimes. And for me, it's slow now. I can't pick up things like I used to, so I get frustrated and then I put it aside. It won't get done. That's just a part of the targeting too. They want you. I'm sorry.
What form is that?
You can actually look it up. What it is? It's a compensation form for
Sandy.
Yes.
Hi, this is Tranquility. I actually have the link for the form. Would you like me to text that? Would you like me to text that, or you want me to put it in the chat, or?
You can put it in the chat. That's all.
Okay, will do.
Well, I'm in the chat,
yeah,
so you can text the number.
You want me to text it to you, David?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I will. I'll send it in just a few minutes, and I'll put it in the chat for everyone else.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're going to have that this next Friday. We will have one filled out, and so I think it'll be easier so we can all kind of go through it once one is already filled out for your own state. So this is my first time kind of knowing, well, not the first time, second time knowing what my show is going to be about. But normally I don't. Lord God gives me the show. Sometimes it's like this. I thought we were going to talk about the effects of burns, the effects of the DEW weapon, burns. But we talked about a myriad of things. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about eyes, because that's the whole thing is to start it was, I don't think I can do the show today. I didn't go to my office today because I didn't feel like I can drive. You know what I mean? So God would, what was meant to happen today happened. We got so much information on other things, and I hope that everyone is feeling okay as we part each other temporarily. Are there any questions or anything else anyone wants to say before we depart?
Yes. Yeah, one more thing I want to add. I don't know if you guys seen this yesterday, but supposedly, and I think it's shenanigans, I don't know, but everybody's Social Security number has been hacked in the U.S. and other countries. It was on the world news.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, not just Michigan, everybody.
Everybody's in the world.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Thank you. I had a quick question, if I may, Sandy.
Sure.
Tranquility, I looked at the link, and I do see it's for Michigan, and I forgot so many of you were there. Do you know if it would be something similar, but just for Virginia where I'm at?
I believe so.
Okay.
Well, that's what we're going to Oops, sorry. That's what we're going to be doing, Michelle, when I go to school Saturday to class. We're going to pull all the states together. So that's why. So when I come together Friday, you'll be able to pull up your own state, but we can go A through Z together. Because I'm going to showcase Texas. I'm in Texas. But I want it to be fair, so we will be showcasing all the states. So that Saturday, that's what I'm doing. Actually, tomorrow? I'll be taking that class. They're coming in. They said that they'll help me with this, and I can teach others. So I'll have a couple of people from Target Justice and also PAX International. I'll take that back. PAX International will be here Friday, and they're going to help when we're going to showcase that form for your particular state.
That is beautiful. Every one of your shows is my favorite show, and you look fabulous. And I want to thank Dr. Millicent for telling me this was coming on, because I'm thinking 1 Eastern time, and I just, that would not have worked out. So I wanted to thank her too. Every time I come on, it's like the new favorite.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody that participated.
Can I get the name of your talk show?
Oh, it is. I'll put it in the chat. It's the I Shall Bloom Show. I Shall Bloom, like the flower.
Oh, I shall bloom.
Yes, I Shall Bloom. If you type it in the browser on YouTube, you'll get it. If you type it in the browser, it should come up. And you, I'd like to invite you on there. I'll send you a link, and I'll put it in here too.
Okay.
Miss Sandy.
Yeah.
Miss Sandy and Miss Millicent, if I may, can you also touch base on being blacklisted when it comes to jobs? Can you talk about that, because that seems to also be a very prominent topic when it comes to this targeting, not being able to get jobs, not being able to get interviews when that have never been an issue before. Is that something you can talk about next time, please?
Oh,
Sandy.
man. We know that.
Could I just speak to that quickly? Just one of the things, because I went through that. Targeting started for me deliberately at the age of 50 years old, just before I turned 50, which was 12 years before I would be eligible for Social Security. And I was blacklisted while trying to get on disability. Nothing was working for me. I even had a lady at a temporary agency tell me that all she had to do was send out an email across the nation, and I wouldn't be able to get a job anywhere at her particular agency. So it's extremely difficult to find employment when we are blacklisted. But I'll tell you one thing that could not be undone was the power of God and the will of God concerning me. I was able to not just get a job, but to learn skills in 4 different directions when I went to seminary, obeying the will of God. So any of you who feel the call of God on your life, I can't encourage you enough to get on out there and figure out what God will do to get you into seminary, because there you can do student work study, and the perps can't stop it, because that's the power of God at work on your behalf. And that's what I did. I was able to break that chain by going to seminary and doing student work study.
Yeah, they couldn't touch. Yeah, they couldn't touch that. But yes, that's a great show, Queen. That will be. I mean, we all can experience that. That's why I said we need to have. When Targeted Justice came to this show about 6 months ago, I was talking about a connection, because a lot of us do have degrees. A lot of us have a knowledge. A lot of us have skills and things that we work and we have in us that they haven't taken, that we can do. And so I'd rather go to a PI, a targeted individual person, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, beautician, versus the ones out there that want to tear my hair out, that want to mess up my skin, want to poison me. I don't want to go to their restaurants because they want to poison me. I'm poisoned. Who knows what spit in. I've had coffee from Starbucks, and something told me, the Holy Spirit said, pour it out and look at the bottom. I poured it out, and you know what was at the bottom? A big piece of snot. Sticking to the body like jello, like jelly. So we are hated. We are a very powerful team. We have knowledge. We have skills. We sit here of all this, and they're listening. They're jealous of that. We can build our own network. We can build our own. We got to make money. There's some people who still have money. They're scared. They don't know what to do with that money. They're targeted, but they need to invest in the groups. And I cry out to those people who have money. There's few, not that many, but there's a few that still have money in this targeted individual thing, and they need to invest in the targeted individual community, and that's where their blessings will be.
Amen.
That's one of my things I always wanted to talk about. That I can't work. I'm only making working as a caregiver, making $30 less than what I would be making. You know what I mean? And that's laughter to them. They know they're laughing at us because we are kings and queens, and they're laughing at us with the pennies. They think, but we are chosen. Just Dr. Millicent, you're right. I mean, we stay in the Word. We stay in the Word, and we realize that we are powerful, even though we fall. And now this call gave me strength again, because I don't know, the ones that was here in the morning earlier when we first started, they saw how pain I was in, because I was scared about my eyes. But now I'm fighting again because I've been fed again, and that's what happened. So I hope that you guys are fed. Amen. And we're going to do this thing. We're going to do this thing. Amen.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. So, without further ado, then I'm going to end the call. I'm going to put the information in the chat. If anybody want to come on the I Shall Bloom show and tell their story and talk about and tell us something, teach, you're welcome to come on there. My show is Monday through Fridays. The show that I do mostly for TIs is Friday at 12 to whenever we see 12 to 2 normally. But during the week, it is from 11:30 to 6. So just give me a call or contact me, and I'm putting it in the chat.
Okay.
Phone number as well. And with Sister Samia, are you here? I thought she said she was here. Nope. Okay, she must have left. Okay, so who would like to offer prayer for us to end the call for now? And then, and again, I want to say thank you, Dr. Millicent, for being on the show with me today. It was a blessing. I thank all of you. I thank you, Tranquility, for allowing me to showcase or put our advertisement. Okay, I'm being attacked again. Our advertisement on your website. I thank everybody for showing up who's just so dedicated, and I thank you so much. And my saying is, and for those of you who know, it's just like I shall bloom, you shall bloom, and we shall bloom. So God bless one of you, and don't forget tonight we're having the 12-hour prayer starting at 8 o'clock, right? 8 o'clock till 8 in the morning. 12 hours of prayer. So sign up if you want to send me a text and see. I think there's some time still available. Is Dr. Millicent available? I'm being attacked. Okay. So.
And I can get to the link for the prayer tonight at tievent.org. Is that correct?
Yes, it's on tievent.org. Yes,
okay.
It is.
Thank you so much for your show. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you for showing up, and thank you, all of you guys. What a blessing. Bye now.
You too. Bye-bye.
I put everything in the chat, too. All done? Bye, y'all. Bye, Tranquility. Bye. Bye, Neem. Bye-bye. Bye, G.